Hey guys, my name is Cidiac and welcome back to another episode of FarmTown here in City Skylines 2, where last episode we built the brand new river crossing and the road that leads outside the region, and in the process we created this, a very awkward looking triangle. Now I thought it would be a good idea to implement something like this, a way in which we can have the vehicles crisscross one another and the routes going and leading to different directions, and I thought it would be a good idea to maybe build a small town within this triangle. Which I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, and I'm going to need some help from you guys as well in the comment section with giving me a town name for it. But before we talk about this and before we get onto this, let's talk about what we did last episode anyway. We extended the highway, which kind of comes from this side of the region, which we built that goes into Newton, that came to here to our glorious half trumpet. Oh, hello, what happened there? Which is what I'm calling it, which then leads out to which will then will begin to be our third river crossing, even though technically it crosses two rivers, but it's, you know, saying what about, right, it's different rivers, boys, which will eventually lead, once I've got a few more tiles to buy, this road coming along there, which will eventually connect up to this road here, which kind of then creates our highway loop around the region, which is pretty exciting. The main point of it is, one, it gives us alternative routes and directions for vehicles to flow to take the pressure off our current crossings, but it also gives us the ability to access all this area for future expansions. Now, I want to build a small little town here. It's not going to be anywhere on the grand scheme of somewhere like Sierra Valley, FarmTown, or even Newton. I'm thinking like little mini village vibe, because it would be a little bit too crazy to build a town around this triangle, which is not really geared up for the traffic. Now, until we have this connection, we won't really see the full force of it all coming in. So, yes, it's gonna be pretty interesting. But anyway, if you're enjoying the series, smash that like button down below. If you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when more episodes do come out. So, how are we going to do this and what are we going to be building? Now, I kind of want this to feel like it's a little bit isolated. We'll have like farming land all around and other stuff to kind of make it feel like it's really disconnected from the main major towns and stuff like that. And I want it to feel like it's some type of an awkward junction town. It's like it was built and then the towns around it grew, and then we needed the infrastructure, but the farmers didn't want to sell their land, so they had to upgrade the current infrastructure of the current roads that existed, and eventually the highway kind of swamped the small little town within the triangle. Now, this is where I need you guys' help. I need you to kind of give me some town names in the comment section down below, or village names, of something that we can kind of utilize for this. I don't even know what to come up with for a name for it, so if you guys want to help me with some name suggestions, let me know in the comment section down below. Now, we're going to do it with a couple of like normal roads, but we're going to do it with a lot of dirt gravel roads as well. And what we'll try and do is we'll try and build it inside. It might overspill slightly into, you know, the opposite sides, but I'm not going to add much more to it. Now, I reckon we base it off this to begin with, and I'm just going to find a nice little marker point to work with. So if I just go up to there by 112, just give me a moment, go across by 112 and then back down. And actually, let me do another 112 and then back down to here. Very good, sir, very good. So delete you, and that will be our first entry point into this area. Now, I want to add a second entry. I might do one entry point on both sides of the roads just to kind of equal the traffic flow. I might actually put two on here because it's a little bit longer than normal. Now this one will go across by 112 again. I'm doing it 112s because that's what the normal length is for like a normal style road. And if I do the connection there, and then we're just going to figure out where we want the connection along here to now run. Now I don't want to do it griddy, although it does look like it's slightly becoming very griddy right now. I don't want to do it griddy. Now, can we find the snap here to create this almost as a 90 degree at, or should I come out of it myself as a 90 degree? So let me just delete this back a little bit. And let's say I come to there which would work out pretty well, unless I push this back to about there. 111, that's almost the 112 that we've been working with. So we'll run that down to there now. And then what we'll also do is run this. I was going to try and run this across, but if I go... Oh, could I get a 112 on this? That's a 90... Wait, was that right? What was that then? Okay, we're almost there. Almost there, but 114. I'll go with that. I'll go for the... Oh, I might say I'll go for the 112 first, but it's a little bit more difficult to even find it. So 112, and if I run this directly across to begin with. So I'm trying to get these spacings just right so we can kind of build around it. Cut you down. Right, delete you. I know it looks quite jagged right now, but it will make sense. It will make sense. I'm going to run you down like this and end you about there. And then this is going to run down to... I'll bring it to there for just a min. Right, so you can kind of see right now how the town has been engulfed by the road and had to then slightly adjust as it's maybe demolished a few little houses and whatnot. So we'll run this down. And I don't know whether to kind of then maybe take a little bit away from this. I'm not too sure, but we'll run that down to there. And we kind of do want it to slightly overspill maybe. So when I say overspill, like it comes down and you've got like a few little areas like this. And then not really much more going on. I've got 2 road connections there, which I don't really want. I'll bring this... You know, I'm going to bring that through to about there. And then slightly overspill this a little bit. There we go. This is looking beautiful. It's like it's been engulfed and swamped within the area. So bringing you out. There we go. And then obviously we'll run this up. I'm just doing all the normal straight bits before I start implementing any of the bends. So that's not too bad. With the main kind of structure for the road layout, that ain't too bad. But obviously we need to then kind of bulk up additional roads that would have connected. So I believe here we can implement said bend. 34 by 37, we'll take that. It's not going to be much of a problem. Leading in. That can then run down. There we go. Any other areas where we can maybe throw in a couple of little bends? We've got to do a few, like a little bit of cul-de-sacs almost. So maybe we kind of just slightly take away from areas like this. Run you up and then just come out ever so slightly. Like that. A few little kind of cul-de-sacs now thrown in the mix. I want to make it feel like it's a proper, like, real life isolated town. Now, it kind of reminds me, there's like a city in California. I can't remember where it is. It's like between LA and kind of like towards like Las Vegas. I think it's called California City or something like that, where they have all the roads planned out, but no one's bought the plots yet, and you got the odd random house here and there. If anyone can just fact check that for me, if that's what I'm thinking of, because it kind of reminds me of what we're kind of slightly building here. Right, we're going to try and pull away from that slightly. And then we'll bring that down there. Now, for me, that's pretty good. There was a town there. We had the main roads running through. And then the highway came along and upgraded and just ruined everything that could potentially be. And what once was. Now, what I'm going to also do is I'm going to upgrade to alley-style roads on some of the main routes leading in like this. So as the main entry points to and coming off the highway, it becomes a solid concrete or asphalt style road. But that's as much as they're getting. And that's all they're getting. So you can see, like, you know, when the government came through with the highway plans, it's like, oh, don't worry, we'll implement some nice infrastructure within your town to make, you know, we'll invest some money there. And then they kind of tarmac the entry points, and then all the workmen left, and all the residents were just left there going like, well, what happened to those promises that you made? It's like I'm creating a backstory here, isn't it? It's like these guys have been left out, you know, to fend for themselves. I kind of like the idea of it. Now, one other thing that I want to do is I want to ease the burden for when we eventually start getting vehicles coming from this direction with the ability to kind of turn. Now, what I mean by that is, with the highway and the one-lane roads, when they're driving down here and they want to make that turn, it's a little bit difficult to do. Now, obviously, you would argue, well, why would they want to come down here to make that turn if they can kind of go straight down here and make that turn? Well, it's also aiding the flow of vehicles who come through and around the city and not make them all kind of, you know, bulk into one exit. But also, I like the idea of having nice little slippy slips. So, what I could do, and it might be a bit crazy to build something like this, but implement something like this. Now, if I went to about there, I've created that nice little slip for vehicles to take that turn, which is actually quite nice, isn't it? I can implement the same thing over here. So it's just something to do a little bit different with the infrastructure. And we'll go about there. Very good, very good. Now, this one's a little bit different. Because it's a 90 degree, you could kind of get both going in both directions. So I could start here and then implement that. So that is a 70 by 69, which is pretty much good for. That there is a... Okay, back a bit. 64... No, back by one more. 74 by 74-ish. I mean, you're not going to get it perfect. But just kind of ease the burden slightly. I think it could work out pretty well. I honestly feel like it could work out pretty well with how the flow's going to go as well. So just a little bit extra there. I'm just kind of preempting a little bit of the traffic. But it's all for the highway. This triangle looks pretty unique now, doesn't it? So let's do a little region around it, and then we'll start getting people moving in as well. So let's create a district. So as soon as you cross the bridge and you get to here, you're within the vicinity. Now, I reckon we go straight down to there. We're going to bring this... Now, I'm not going to add that section into it, just only solely because... I need to buy that tile to kind of extend it a little bit more. So until I've bought that tile, we'll just leave it like that for now. And then we'll kind of cut across here. So we'll go to about there, bringing this down to there, and then done. So I'm well aware that that's not currently in there. To be honest with you, I could just straight up go bam, bam, bam. And then just wait for us to buy the other area. So, yeah, this is where you guys need to help me right now with some name suggestions for our little triangle town. Now, we're going to give it, first, we'll start with a little bit of commercial. Okay, it's all going to be low density. Now, I believe the commercial should go on the main inlet roads. And I don't really want to create like a central shopping area because that will then deem it's a little bit, it's got like a little bit of a town centre, and it's not really like that. It's a village that grew, but the infrastructure was not in place when it did grow. So what we'll do is we'll throw in, so there's the highway road there, isn't it? Let me just double check. Yes. So as you come in, you've got the odd little shop or two. Very good, very good. Very good, boys. We'll do the same thing just here. There we go. And then we've got two inlets because there's one also here as well. There we go. And... is that it? Oh, there's technically one here. Oh, we're going to add all the services. I forgot about the utility side of it as well. Let's quickly pause them. And then we'll throw this in. And then we'll go for something like that, what kind of should work out pretty well for us. So we need to add the utilities in. Now, an easy way to bring the electricity over here is obviously electrifying the whole road leading up to this point. So if I go to our road network, if I go to lighting and then choose to upgrade. So if I come from this point here and then upgrade all of this. If I run this all the way down to this roundabout, and I might as well go all the way through it to there. That there should electrify that, give it all lights, and then they should stop complaining about electricity, and they just complain about water and sewage right now at this point. Now I can't go that way. I've got to awkwardly now build a sewage run going down here. So if we connect it to there and then run this and follow the power lines all the way down. When does the road start to bend? Okay, the road starts to bend here. So I'm going to try and follow the highway, because that is the most obvious sense of running this all the way down. So where's the bridge right now? The bridge taking place here. I'm just going to wrap this all the way around. So just following it around the bend, and then across the bridge. And this should be a pretty straight run until it starts to bend again here, until we meet one of the roads, which will be directly there. And then now it's got all its water, sewage, power, all now connected. This town can now thrive. Or at least I like to think it can thrive. So we're going to need to also give it some services as well. It's going to need its own police station, its own fire department, medical clinic. It's going to need all that. It is quite a small town for that kind of stuff, so I don't know whether it just needs like a county sheriff's kind of office kind of thing in that kind of style. But, you know, it's way too big for this. It is way too big, so I don't know whether we just allow the city services to drive over there. What do you guys reckon? Do you reckon the services are way too big for this area and we should just kind of just let the other town services come over to service this? Because it's kind of like these are the forgotten fools. The forgotten citizens of the area. But we do need to add in some residential now anyway. So we're going to be quite meticulous with this. We really are. I don't want to go too big, too crazy. And I want to place them like individually. That's not even touching the road, you fool. That's not even touching the road. There we go. So squeeze in where we can. For a few little houses here and there. Try not to go overboard too much. And it's going to be a very, very small population. Really small population this is going to be. We'll have some bigger houses, we'll have some smaller ones, but ultimately it's going to be a poor town. That's the gist of this area. Alright, we can get some slightly larger houses. You can have the odd one or two that are quite large, but other than that, that's the best you're getting out of it. Alright, we'll do this little corner here and we'll kind of see how it's all looking in just a moment as well. So, it's all looking pretty good, isn't it? I mean, it'll be quite interesting to see once it's all built. And we'll get a few on the outskirts over here as well. So, these are the outsiders of the outside town. Even the outsider town has outsiders. Alright, there we go. Beautiful. Add a few little smaller ones in as well. Get it all over there situated. And how much more space we got left to work with then? We'll do this side first. And we'll try and do also some bigger space in between each one. as it all starts to kind of sprawl out. There we go, boys. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. And how's it looking now then? So the buildings are starting to be now built. It's mainly all the commercial side of it, but we're almost there. We are almost there right now. So I might as well just get it all finalized. Let's stop messing about. Let's get it all done. All right, there we go. And then it's just this little section now, isn't it? Yeah. And then we're pretty much Gucci boys. We're all done. All right, let's leave it like that then. That should be enough. It should be enough. They got some stores there so they can work locally, but if anybody wants to get like a factory job, they've got to, like, you know, commute to work. But that's until we start getting like farming industry all placed around. Now we could throw a little park in. It might work out in their best interest to have a nice little kind of town park, which we'll throw in just there. Which may actually, I'll move it down a bit more. Just there. So they got a little bit of a park nearby that they can, you know, enjoy. Any sports stuff? I don't feel like that would make any sense just yet. We'll give them a mailbox, or should I give them their own? Somebody wanted to know about the mail coverage. You can see the mail coverage now. You could say we're slightly slacking over in this area. So while it's on our minds, let's just kind of add a few additional mailboxes in where it needs to be added in. Just one over there. There. Okay, very good. Which means a mail van has to come all the way over to this town to give them what they need. Now, telecom, a radio mast would be a good idea. But it's just figuring out where to implement said radio mast. We might just throw it just there. Would fit in perfectly. So they've got the basic services. They've got the basic services required. And a few little kind of modern tech added in with the radio mast, which does give them internet in the area, weirdly. Transmitting mobile data. Yeah, well, you know, internet on your mobile. Radio traffic and TV signals. It's a nice little convenience. They have a mailbox. What more could they ask for in this area? Like, literally. What more could they ask for this little village? Now, as of right now, it has 137 residents. Now, how does that stack up to our current little mini villages? It's bigger than Littleville, bigger than Rosedale, bigger than Wheatville. Nowhere near these guys, though. Newton's the smallest of all the towns, over 1,200 residents. So this is like a tenth of the size of Newton. But Newton will keep expanding. This place will not. But yeah, there we go. We've got stuff going on. So you could argue now that we need to give them a bus route. But I feel like I want to create a nice little loop set up. So I think for now then, we just have to give them a basic bus route back and forth to Sierra Valley. Just so, you know, they've got something going on. They can get here and they can hop on a train if needs be, if they want to go to FarmTown. Now, I'm going to lead this out. So is it worth me kind of maybe collecting a few people? No, that's all within walking distance over here. I think it's just going to be a straight stop. So, like... And I've got to remember to do... Do you know what I've just realised? I've got to remember to do bus stops. Because I kind of forget to do bus stops, don't I? That's my biggest issue. I did it in the last episode of Finalizing. I forgot to put a bus stop down. So I'm going to pull it. It's right next to the mailbox. So, you know, I'll pull it just a little bit further up the road. It's a way that people know where the mailbox... Where's the mailbox? Oh, it's near the bus stop. Or, where's the bus stop? Oh, it's near the mailbox. Or you go, where's the bus stop? It's near the mailbox. Well, where's the mailbox? Oh, no. Right, and we might do some waypoints to make the traveling here a little bit easier. So I'm going to make it kind of go this way round. It'll then lead out and skadoodle, which is fine. And then coming down this way then, we'll make... Do I make them both go this way? I can make that one go that way, and then this one go this way. That makes more sense with the way it kind of, you know, connects on those junctions. And how many buses does it want to put on that route is the question as well. So it'll be bus line 5, and it wants 8. I'm going to change it to the minimum, which is 4. There we go. So we now got buses going to our new little... Well, we're going to class it as a village, right? It's going to be a village. It's got 140 residents living here right now, and it's pretty isolated. It is pretty isolated. Anybody visiting the park yet? One vehicle arriving. Oh, it was the maintenance vehicle. It was the maintenance vehicle, boys. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I'm quite excited to see how this is going to progress because, yeah, while it is a small little village, it's in a quite strategic location, and it's going to have a lot of traffic tearing through it. So the noise pollution is going to only increase, which is going to, you know, decrease the desirability to actually live there. It's the forgotten town, boys. The forgotten town in FarmTown right now. So we will eventually need to connect all this road up. We can then fill in all these little areas, build some more towns and villages and all that kind of jazz. It's looking pretty good. Now, I think we've got an unemployment problem. Let's take a look. The unemployment problem is we don't have enough educated people to take the high educated jobs. So we need to keep educating people. But we just need more people to move in general. Yeah. Things are going well, kind of. Kind of, he says. Is there many people waiting at the brand new bus stop yet? Well, it's up here, isn't it? Yes. A fair few people are waiting at the brand new bus stop. Guys, the buses will be here shortly. Where is the buses anyway? Oh, here's a bus. Here's a bus right now. How many people has he got on board? 1. Picking everybody up. Dropped you off. Are you waiting for the next bus? No, what's going on with you? Right, here's another bus right now. It's got 3 people on board. Oh no, now you walk away. Okay. And these are the... Oh, it had a dog on board as well. Nice. And these are the people that live in our brand new village. So next episode then, boys, we will rename the village with your suggestions in the comment section down below. Give me some good ideas of what we could do in the future with this area. But for now, I think we will end it here. Hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.